as they would have liked.
They take it quickly. Ricardo Thomas inside. The header. Goal for Fabian Reed. He has done it again. And Parker Blacks from the asphalt of 4th Street Trench Down to Arnett Gardens to Sarawak, Trinidad, to Goree, Georgia, and Manipur, India, and back to Kingston, Jamaica, gets his 100th goal in his professional career. In the second city of Montego Bay, Fabian Reed with a milestone goal.
Big goal for him, and what a team to get it against. This Montego Bay United was marked from Seba United, and we know the history between Arnett and Seba, so it's a big club for him to get it against. Got a chance earlier, a glancing header.
All right, so the Jamaica Premier League is back. Well, technically, there are still complications in regards to where we can see the games and all these things, but it is officially back. I do apologize that I'm unable to do a preview video in regards to the season preview, but I'm going to just list out this. Before we go into the weekend preview, I'm just going to give you guys who I think is going to make the top 6 and also who I think is going to take it this season. So, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much again for tuning in to MG Sports TV. This is the first video of the Jamaica Premier League 2025 to 2026 season. This is going to be epic. 3 rounds of football, so we'll have to start the season in October. I can't recall this season starting in October. I cannot recall that happening, which means that there is plenty football for me to cover. Jamaica Premier League, schoolboy football, schoolgirl football, the Reggae Boyz, U14, U6. There's so unlimited. Undoubtedly, I will be there for all of it. Sometimes, I have to give you the mind from now, sometimes I'm a panelist, I'm going to take some of the evening, based on the fact that I might not be available. But rest be assured that when schoolboy football kick in, you will get your weekly or your nightly live stream as according to everything. And we will also discuss the Jamaica Premier League in it. Big up on yourself. So, anyways, all right, so let's first, forgot to discuss top 6. Now, based off what's happening in the top 6, the first 2 teams I have to put down is Mount Pleasant and Cavalier. One, we know Cavalier tend to make it to the top 6. It doesn't matter where in the top 6 they finish. They will make it to the top 6. Now, I do foresee Portmore United also making it in the top 6. That could be a little bit of biasness. I make sure I include that tonight. But based on what they did last season and also in the inclusion of the striker that they really needed, I expect to see them in the top 6 this season. Now, Racing United pushed so hard throughout the season to make the top 6, and potentially this might be their year to make the top 6. So I think they might creep in the top six at the benefit of this time around possible Tivoli Garden. So I'm going to say it's Mount Pleasant, Cavalier, Portmore United, Racing, Arnett Garden, who normally makes it, and Montego Bay United. Now, let me tell you this from now. These are predictions, which means that in must go so. Must go so. This is the first day of the Jamaica Premier League season. 38 or 39? 38 games to go, which means that this could be totally madness. What if, just miraculously, what if Mount Pleasant don't make it in the top 6? Just what if? Just what if? Just say. But I'm just saying. So that's something. Just take this with a pinch of salt because this is just a prediction. Now, for the winner of this year Jamaica Premier League team, I have to go with Mount Pleasant. I did say Cavalier. If we can chat back on that, I think we need to say Cavalier that take the back-to-back. Cavalier, yeah. We need to say Cavalier that win it back-to-back. Wow. But I think this year is the year for Mount Pleasant. The recruitment that they brought in, the continuity in regards to the squad. So I expect them to be another powerhouse this season. Win the regular season, possibilities are they might win the regular season, but not like the margins like what they did last year. And also, I expect them to win the league this year. Will they? That's a big thing. I remember now, no, when you come on to top 6 now, you got on playoff mode, so that's totally different. So I think I still going to go with them based off everything. Now, why not Cavalier? No, Cavalier have a little bit of teething issue. Not saying that they aren't perfect. I'm not saying that they won't make it, but I believe that the fact that they have to overall basically a third of the squad and replace those players with players who are coming in means that those players will take a little while to bed in. Will they reach a peak by the end of the season? That's a different story, because if they reach their full maximum and potential by the end of the season, moving into the top 6 or the playoff system, they can most definitely take it again. 100%. But for now, I have to say it's Mount Pleasant, and you don't know, followed by them, I'm going to say Cavalier, followed by them, Portmore United. So that would be the others, but Mount Pleasant is my top pick for winning the 2025-2026 season. At the end of the season, I'll be coming back to this video. I'm going to do a review of this video and also of my top 6 and see how much me get wrong. Possibly, I might get all 6 wrong. Can you imagine Chapter Maroons come win the Premier League? You see? Let me get everything wrong. Anyways, all right, so let's get into the weekend matchup, people. That's what we want to see. That's what we're here for. All right, first game. Let's touch on the first game. First game is Chapelton Maroon versus Tivoli Garden. That's at Turner's Oval. Now, football returned to Turner's Oval, and I do think that the families, the members of the community will be out for this game, 100%. But I still think that based on the fact that Chapter Maroon, a lot of inclusion regards to the takeover and stuff, I think they might need a little bit of settling down period, but good vibes might be there. They'll be up for the game. So I'm going to say, based off that, Tivoli is going to be a traveling team. I'm going to say this game might be drawn 2-2 draw for this matchup. It certainly should be a very, very interesting matchup and an interesting game. Fiery, lots of goals, as I said, 4 goals, but I'm looking at a 2-2 draw. So it's going to be interesting. I remember, this is based off the fact that all teams have new players. What about the different factor? So we'll just have to go with recent form and how things have been going. But most definitely, because that game I play at Turner's, Chapelton Maroon will be up for this game. Next matchup we have is Mount Pleasant versus Montego Bay. Big derby match, the West Derby, and Montego Bay just cannot get the job done over Mount Pleasant. This would be interesting. This would be a good season to start the season. I said, you know what? Despite Mount Pleasant are the favorites for this game, they went to the final last year. They'll be pushing for the title this year. Let's see if we can nick this one, at least a 1-0, to show that we mean business this season. But I think Mount Pleasant at home at Jacksall will be a little bit too much for Montego Bay this time around. It can be a draw, but I'm going to say a very close, gritty 2-1 in favor of Mount Pleasant. Montego Bay have quite a lot of quality. I think Montego Bay, I think Mount Pleasant will take this one 2-1. Next up on the agenda we have is Treasure Beach versus Spanish Town. 2 new teams to the setup. Treasure Beach having Spanish Town Police having quite a few issues in regards to getting the coach on the sideline. These things need to be ironed out before season start. And if you start in a season on a bad note like that, it would be very, very difficult. Really interesting to see what Police United, Police FC, sorry about that. Police FC have to prove this season. I think I'm going to go with Treasure Beach. Treasure Beach at home. Quite a lot of recruitment done by Treasure Beach. I think I'm going to go with Treasure Beach for this one. I'm going to say Treasure Beach 1-0 at their home, in front of their home fans for happy days. Now we have Molynes United versus Waterhouse. No, not much. I haven't seen much going on for Molynes United in the pre-season. Waterhouse has been doing quite fairly decent. I do believe, though, that this is quite a even matchup where the end of the season, but based on the fact that Waterhouse kind of retained quite so much of their players, and openly we can see that Waterhouse include quite a lot of players as well. I think I'm going to go in favor of Waterhouse for this one. I might say probably Waterhouse 1-0 1-0. And most of this is based on the fact that I haven't seen much of the team so far this season. Well, I haven't seen any other team them in a competitive matchup. US preseason is totally different. When the season kick off, a different sitting. Preseason games, I'm telling you, preseason game setup. No one wants to get injured. They go hard, but not that hard. So no one wants to get injured. So you don't get the full 100 out of the teams in a preseason. So I think I'm going to go with Waterhouse for this one. And next match we have on the agenda is Harborview versus Cavalier FC. Now, I didn't need to mention that because the fact that Mount Pleasant, who's already in season, started up their season earlier than Montego Bay, who played a game already, played a competitive game already, they have an advantage over Mobay. And that's also one of the reasons why I think so. With saying that, I believe that Cavalier themselves also have the same advantage going into this game versus Harborview. Harborview not really had a good preseason, still have quite a lot of work to do. I have to go for Cavalier for this one, and I'm going to say Cavalier 2. I'm saying Cavalier 3, Harborview 1. I think I'm going to say 3-1 in favor of Cavalier. Then now let's go to Monday Night Football. I'm happy that Monday Night Football has started right off the bat. This is a good look. We have Dumby Olin versus Portmore United. Dumby Olin still trying to settle in, still trying to bed in their new recruits. Portmore United still have a settled squad. A lot of players who were in the squad last year still remain, and they have included more players to the squad. So I have to go for Portmore United. Maybe a little bit of biasness. No, this is not bias. I think I'm going to go Portmore United. Even though when Portmore United played Dumby Olin, it's a total different ball game. But I'm going to go a very, very close 1-0 in favor of Portmore United. And we know we're very, very good defensively. Next up, final match of the day is Arnett Garden versus Racing. And this was Racing first match in the Jamaica Premier League versus Arnett Garden, and it was a cracker. This should be another exciting game. Racing did lose a few of their star players in preseason, i.e., let's say Ronaldo Biggs, but Arnett Garden did also lose a few players, fill on the wing, and just a few players, but they have retained the core of their squad, which means that they should be in a better position. Arnett Garden last season, biggest issue was defensively. They weren't at it in especially in the tough games. They weren't really at it in the tough games when they even go down to the playoffs. But I think that this should be a good, even matchup game. And I'm going to go a 1-1 draw, a very aggressive, hard running 1-1 between Arnett Garden and Racing United. That should conclude match day 1 or game week 1 from the 2025-2026 Jamaica Premier League. Big up on yourself, people. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. Tell me who are your favorites and tell me your predictions in the comment section. And I'll see you guys again. Until next time, MG Sports TV. We're out, God, people. God bless. Boom! Outside. I mean...